Why does it say New Jerusalem on your back?
New Jerusalem is because at the end of the age, which who knows, is it going to be next month or 100 years from now or 800 years from now, God is going to destroy the heaven and the earth, and then he's going to make a new Jerusalem, and then that's where all those who trust God and His Son Jesus Christ are going to dwell. So that's what it says in the Bible, anyway. Have you ever read the Bible at all?
I'm Jewish.
Well,
I read Torah.
So Torah is God's instruction, absolutely.
Right, but the New Testament didn't come from God.
It sure did. Huh? Where did it come from?
It was man-made. The New Testament.
You could say the same thing about the Tanach.
Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim, it is. Part of it is.
Do you believe in the God of Israel?
God.
The God you believe in, is He the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose God gave the promises to? Okay. So you probably know that when in Genesis 12, when God promises Abraham three things: a land, a nation, and a Mashiach. Right? He says, go to a land that I'm going to show you. He promises him a land. Okay? And I'll make a great people of you. That's a nation. And in you, Abraham, all families of the earth will be blessed. That's the Messiah from Genesis 3:15. Okay? So, Abraham was a Gentile. A few chapters later, in 17, him and everyone with him is getting circumcised. God's prophet Isaiah 43 verse 1, I created you, O Jacob, Israel. Israel's a creation of God to reflect God's holiness. The Israel of God is what I, as a believer in Messiah Jesus, I'm grafted into the Israel of God. Just like in the Tanach, when
what was that?
You observe the feasts.
Shabbos?
Well,
Sabbath or what?
Well, yesterday was the Shabbat.
Right.
I mean, do you celebrate the feast of the Lord? Like coming up here April 5th is the Passover. I celebrate it.
Yeah, I'll be celebrating.
The Lamb of God. Jesus Christ was the Lamb of God, Yeshua HaMashiach. So, when people tell me they're Jewish, I kind of got to ask questions to see where they're at, because you know, you probably wouldn't consider yourself Orthodox, okay? But the last time I was in Israel was last October. And if you're in Tel Aviv, it's just like being in Los Angeles. And you go to, although there are Orthodox running around there, in Bnei Brak and that next to Tel Aviv, but you get back to Jerusalem, then it's a lot more religious there.
Right.
You've been to Israel, right?
I've been 3 times.
Yeah.
2 of my uncles live in, one's in Beersheba, one's in Beit Shemesh.
Oh, Beersheba, yeah. We went down there where there's like a camp supposedly where Abraham was, Abraham's well and all that. And that was a lot of fun and all that. Where's the other one live?
Beit Shemesh. It's a super religious neighborhood.
So most of those Orthodox guys, they say, hey, Mr. Jewish man, don't read the Tanakh. We're the rabbis. We'll tell you what it means. It's just like the Catholic Church that says, hey, don't read the Bible. We're the priests. We're going to tell you what it means. When you're an educated person, you can pick the Tanakh up and read it for yourself. You don't need some rabbi who actually lives by the Talmud and the Zohar and the Midrash and lives by all that instead of actually, you know, anyway. Yeah, I'm grafted into Israel, just like in the Tanakh where it says, a stranger, a sojourner, an alien, a foreigner. If he'll come and live amongst you and be circumcised, and wants to follow the God of Israel, he's going to be under the same law as you, the Jewish man, are. The same law. So it's the God of Israel that I want to follow. Not most of what we see around Christianity. You don't see. I'm not in a church today. Probably the high 90 percentile of all these quote Christian churches we see, they're as religious and nonsense as the Orthodox are. You know, they don't. If you really wanted to know the God of Israel, you would pick up a Tanach and read it for yourself, and not. You're smart enough. We can all read. I have a Tanakh that I look at, and I have a Christian Bible also. Well, a Tanakh with a New Testament on it. But I went to traditional churches for a long time. But it got to a point I'm like, this stuff, no matter where I go, because I've lived in like 4 states in the last 15 years. So I've been to churches around the country. One was a period of time I lived in Arkansas, which is considered the Bible Belt. So all these different churches I've been to, I'm like, I just see tradition and religion. And I don't see a lot of what God told us to do. And I'm trying to follow what he said. That's why I got like this is my Bible tract. Hanging out. And that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. You want this? Anyway, my name's Larry. Brandon? Nice to meet you. Yeah.
So they actually have church over there today at Buffalo Church.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know what it is.
Right.
And I know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is the one who saved me, just like it says in Genesis 15:6. Abraham believed God, and God accounted it to him for righteousness. So, if you got the righteousness of God, you have the salvation of your soul. And the death rate's 1 per person. We're all going to make it. So,
Well, Larry, I wish you the best of luck today.
Thank you. You're being very polite. Thank you. Can I leave you with one thing out of the book of Daniel? Okay. You got a Tanakh, right? Okay. Daniel chapter 9, verse 25-26. Because sometimes the quote Christian Tanakh, it might be 1 or 2 verses off from a Jewish Tanakh. So it's in there, but it might be one. So that's why I say Daniel 9, 25-26. It says the Mashiach had to come and die before the destruction of the second temple.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Well, that's what it says. Daniel was a prophet of God. I mean, you don't have to agree with him, but he's one of God's prophets. So what he says is fact. Whether you believe it or not is up to you. So anyway, have a nice day.
Yeah, I have a question for you, because a lot of guys who walk around are not as knowledgeable as you are. When you say Yahweh, do you say Yahweh?
Yeah, Yahweh.
So you know that's actually transliterated.
Well, it probably is.
Because Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, because you can't write down God's name, Adonai. So you pronounce Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh as Adonai because you can't write down God's name.
So pronounce that again.
Adonai, it's Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh.
Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh.
No, Yud-Heh, so a letter Yud, a letter Hey, a letter Vav, a letter Hey. So you pronounce it Adonai, but it is mistransliterated as Yahweh because people don't understand that you can't write down God's name.
That's some of the problem with when the Gentiles got a hold of manuscripts and started, because there's no language on earth where there's a word-for-word translation.
Right.
And so they would say, well, we tried to do the best we can, but so when Moses says to God, says, who should I say sent me? And God says, tell them I am sent you. So when in my the thing, the app I use that goes from English to Hebrew.
Yeah. Do you speak Hebrew?
No, I wish I could. Okay, so that's like in Exodus 3. So when I look, when it says, I am sent you, they're going over to the Hebrew, and then of course the word is in English, is Hayah.
Hayah? There was.
Okay, so I'll just let you, let me get back to it. Okay, so it breaks it down, because see, I'm trying to, I want to know, because God's the one that speaks Hebrew. You know?
So the word lihiot means to be. Hayah is his past tense, meaning there was.
Okay, so here's the English. It says, I am that I am, and it says Hayah right there. I mean, you tell me, what do you think? It says Hayah. That's
Hayah, right. So hey, good hey, and that vowel makes the ah sound under each one. So Hayah. So that's.
How good are you at speaking Hebrew?
I've been a very Kentucky food. I speak a little Hebrew.
So, okay, so when you go to Israel, you can get around.
I can get around.
Hey, you need to go to the bathroom. The bathroom. You need to find a good restaurant.
That's your routine. That's where's the bathroom.
Okay, so.
Well, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I said Larry. What did you say?
Brendan.
Brendan. Okay,
So,
Brendan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd like to pronounce things correctly and that kind of stuff. So, in fact, there's a Rabbi Zev Parat who's a YouTuber, and he's a believer in Yeshua, and I probably watch at least one of his videos a day, and I've learned a lot, you know, because the Christian Gentile church, how did I figure out that they are way off the mark? Well, I've been constantly reading the whole Tanach, the New Testament. Well, this summer will be 30 years since 1993. And so, if you want to learn about history, well, what in the New Testament, in John chapter 4, Jesus tells the Samaritan woman, salvation is of the Jews. Okay? Isaiah 12:2. Okay? I mean, anyway.
Oh, yeah, those are talking to you.
I'll catch you later.
Talk to you later.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate the conversation.